Hello and welcome back to a brand new video. In today's video, we'll be taking a look at the best matches played in the Champions Chess Tour final, which is right now being held in Norway. So the first game we are going to view is Magnus Carlsen against Alireza. Now this match is Armageddon, meaning in this variation of the game, if Black gets a draw, Black is automatically going to win, and Black is going to be low on time depending on what the opponent is going to write the time for the Black pieces. So Alireza has less time compared to Magnus, and the game continues. We see ready opening. The game continues. We see normal positions. Um, the game is quite balanced. You see early castle by both the players, and Magnus uh, starts underdeveloping. He takes his bishop back. Alireza is developing his pieces. He castles. He has a better position to play with. Here, Magnus just trying to develop his pieces and trying for Alireza to actually blunder. But Alireza plays very safe. You see, Magnus can't find any positions to attack with, and he's playing chess with precision here. And the theory is, if you play chess with precision, it's gonna end up in a draw. So the game continues. We see Magnus trying to push all the pieces. He pushes. He gets the queens off the board, but now with equal material on the board, it's quite a draw position. We see Magnus here trying his best not to give up a draw. He tries to move the knight. He moves the pawn, but still, um, he can't. He can't do anything to avoid the draw, and so due to repetition of moves, finally Magnus just resigns because he knows that there are no moves, and so Magnus gives up a draw, and so Alireza wins the game. Now this is the second match where we see Magnus Carlsen against Levon Oranian. This game is where Magnus wins, and this is a brilliant game played by Magnus Carlsen. The game starts with Sicilian defense. Magnus has the white pieces. We see e4, c5. The game continues by the book. We see a lot of moves by the book here, and then Levon actually starts pushing the pieces later on in the game. After the book moves, look at the moves they played by the book. 10 moves were played by the book. After castling, Magnus starts pushing the pieces. We see some trades on the board, and the game continues. Now, Levon actually starts pushing pieces without accuracy here. He's just trying to get the knight out, but actually he's just making his pawn formation really bad here. Magnus takes the free pawn on d file, and Levon is actually like clueless here. Maybe I guess here the best move would have been this, and then what to do. See, you see a better position here. So the engine actually wants them to trade off Levon to trade off the rook, but instead Levon actually defends his rook, and now we see a brilliant move by Magnus Carlsen. He is attacking the rook by both sides, so here as well and here as well. So he has to either move the rook to safety, and so he does. He pins the knight from moving. We see another great move by Magnus Carlsen. He offers a queen trade for Levon, but Levon does not go for a queen trade because if he goes, he knows he's doomed in the end game. So Levon tries to continue the middle game. We see a lot of moves here by Levon, and Magnus starts stacking up the rooks here, but then when he removes the stack here, the way his eval bar goes down is really bad because the engine wants him to move the king right now first, and then the engine wants after knight to I don't know. Wait a second, let me see. It wants to underdevelop the pieces and stuff, and then go for a better position, and now go towards a win. But it's a very long-term game. You see, it's 47 moves in, and you are not actually winning here. But so it's not a blunder or something. It's just not a miss. It's just for the engine because the engine is going through a line, and it doesn't find it suitable. So it's just gonna say it's not a good move. Magnus, on the other hand, plays human-like moves, and now Magnus has a better position because he has his king pinged here, all the pieces stacked up here, so it's quite a mess because anything goes wrong and you end up in a checkmate because your king is in the corner and you have a rook here, you have a queen stacked up and a rook again stacked up here, and you also have a black pawn here that can lead to promotion as well. Magnus tries defending. We see a brilliant move. Magnus moves the king backside. He moves the king to b1 with the idea that whenever the queen comes to b3, he's not being attacked or getting into checkmate. Magnus moves here. Um, he goes for another brilliant move. This could have been a checkmate. If Magnus did not move any pieces here, it would have been a checkmate, because if there was something here or the rook was here, he would end up in a checkmate. So Magnus moves, and now the worst part is over, because now Magnus just takes the rook, and now with the queen here, Magnus just moves again the king to the best safe square. Now the king is protected by all means, all attacks. The queen is protecting the rook, and everything is protected. Magnus takes the free pawn on e5, and now another great move with the idea of taking this pawn here. Levon actually protects this pawn here, and now the bishop moves here brilliantly. He promotes to a queen, but then he just loses the queen immediately, and that's why this bishop to d3 was the great move, because here when he promotes, he just loses. Another better move, he just avoids any forks, any checkmates, any threats here. He just takes away the king from this square to this square, and now he is lined up. He offers queen trade here. He takes the queen trade, and now he has a pawn to promotion. And now Levon knows that if the game continues, he's just about to lose. He has all the pawns in the best formation, and now this great move here ensures that whenever he takes, and now the black king, whenever he moves, he can't actually do anything, because now he's going to go for a rook checkmate with the king. And this was a brilliant game played by Magnus. The game accuracy for Magnus was 89.5, and Levon had an accuracy of 86.6, and this was a very strong game. Now, this match is played between Ian Nepomniachtchi against Vincent from Germany, and this game is just a brilliant game, because this game ends with 33 moves, and Ian won this game. So the game starts with d4. Ian goes for f6. We see, I guess this is, which opening is it? I really don't know. I guess it's a ready opening, maybe. So the game continues. We see more moves here by the book, and now we see him putting the bishop on this diagonal with the idea of having a strong diagonal. The game continues. We see bishop in the play. Vincent is just trying his best. He's developing. He's quite good. He's not in a bad position here. But now Ian starts to push, because this structure here isn't very suitable for white, maybe, because black has a more defensive position. He has these bishops lined up here as well. So these bishops are stuck, but these bishops are free to move. That means that black has a better position. We see the queen moving, trying to find a square to attack. And now Ian starts to trade off the material here. They have equal material. Just the difference is that one light squared bishop is less for black. Ian takes this pawn here, and the queen moves. This is a blunder, because now this move here is really brilliant for black, and black goes for this move, because now with this queen lined up here, this was a checkmate threat, but Ian successfully had this move here, which is king to f8, and now if he gives a check, he has a knight here. This is a brilliant saving technique for Ian. Ian just got saved from a checkmate, because if he were to move here, it would have been a checkmate. So the next best move is now played by Ian. He moves the queen to d1. King moves to g2. We see queen to d2. We see rook c7, queen at 6, and now queens are going to be traded off, but still Vincent tries his best not to trade off the queens. And now he moves the knight to d5, and Vincent resigns. So this game is played between Alireza and Maxime-Lagrave. So the game starts. We see knight to f3, quite normal. We see Alireza actually developing these pieces here. Um, Maxime is trying to get hold of the center, and he has the center to a bit, but then his bishop is actually stuck here because it can't move. Maxime tries pushing all the bishops out and develop all the pieces he can. And now this square here, this is gonna be really stuffed with all the pieces and all the threats here. You see all the pieces here are just lined up, and we have a very bad we have a very tough and intense situation here. Anyone to blunder just loses the game. And now he pushes the pawn. He gets hold of this position here. And Alireza actually now starts pushing, because now this is a check for him. King has to step away, or maybe here, but then he can move any other piece, and whenever the king moves from here, it just becomes a queen. So he moves g3. We see this fork here that is here any piece is gonna go, so you have to move one of the pieces, and he moves the queen, and now he moves the pawn with the idea that the queen is now defending the knight. We see Maxime with a threat here. He is attacking him, but now Alireza actually escapes the threat, and now this is a very brilliant move, because now he is in a discovered check, and now he has to take with the king. This is another brilliant move, because now the queen is just pinned to the king. So there are two brilliant moves played by Alireza. First is moving the knight to f8 with the idea that now he can't take from here anywhere, because the queen is giving a discovered check to the knight, and the best idea to save himself is maybe move the knight here, king here, or king here. That actually just gives few seconds to avoid any inconvenience, maybe here, so whenever he takes, you have a better position to play with. At least your queen doesn't get pinned. But he actually moves here, and as a result, the queen is pinned, and now the queen has to take. You lose the queen, and that is what happens, because now he actually loses the queen, and the game is over. In 22 moves, Maxime actually resigns. And this was the games that were played. There are a lot of brilliant games going on. Maybe I'm not covering all of them, but every match they play is something to be noted. Really good games between all the players, and every player is trying their best to play uh, amazingly. So this was the video. I hope you liked it. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave your thoughts below. I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Be happy. Stay safe. Goodbye.